Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to turn myself into Tiffany. I had a really good recommendation to do either Tiffany or Morticia Addams, which I do have a black wig, but this is my hair. As frightening as that is to think about, this is my hair. Do the makeup. It's fairly simple makeup. I did some curls, obviously pinned them up to try and get some good volume until the end. But yeah, if you want to see how I did this Tiffany transformation, just keep on watching. My hair, I just did little, I curled everything and pinned it up, so hopefully we can get some good volume when I style it later. But I just did normal foundation. I'm pretty fair. Tiffany's very light, so I would say if you're darker than me, you could go in with a foundation that's a little bit lighter. I don't know that it's necessary. You could get away with, I think, using your normal foundation. That's really going to be personal preference. And then her eyebrows are very thin. This is my natural eyebrow shape. Normally when I do my brows, I overdraw them. I didn't do that for this because hers are thin. And then I went with my dark brown pencil, dark brown powder. I didn't throw any light shades in like I normally do, dark brown gel. Hers are almost black. Again, I don't know that it's necessary to go completely black. You can, again, that's going to be personal preference, but you're going to want to make them as thin as you can and as dark as you can. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the baby monitor down, just because you can probably hear the music. And then we're gonna go in and contour, and I'm just gonna use the KVD contour kit, and we're gonna try and stay on the cooler tones here. So I'm gonna, whatever this shade is in the darker shade, and then I'm gonna contour. I kind of drew inspiration from the Tiffany doll. But I'm not necessarily trying to make myself look like the doll, more like when she was alive. But the makeup I really looked at, just because there's more images of her as the doll. So I'm just going to chisel out the jaw, and then I'm going to contour probably a little bit higher than what I would normally, just to give me some good cheekbones here. So yeah, I did really look at the the doll makeup, but like I said, I'm not necessarily trying to make myself look like the doll. I had a subscriber recommend this. They suggested either Tiffany or Morticia Addams, and I went with Tiffany just because she's very iconic, and two, my hair is the right color. I have it blonde, I have my roots showing. I'm getting ready to do a shadow root, so that's why it's very powdery. I think I've only used this once or twice, but and then I'm gonna go in. I'm using the lightest shade to go around my forehead, and then I'm really gonna go in and with the darker and kind of hollow out my temples a little bit. But I love Jennifer Tilly. I thought she did a fantastic job when she played, the live action, herself when she was alive, and then doing the voice of the doll, like just very iconic. And then normally, like, I would bronze, but we're not going to bronze today. I am going to do my nose a little bit just because her nose is very narrow, especially the doll. The doll's nose is very narrow. My nose is pretty slim to begin with, but really, it's Halloween makeup, so you want to go a little above and beyond what you would probably normally do. I like to contour under my lip. And then I do want to define my Cupid's bow. Usually I do this anyway, just because my Cupid's bow is not super pronounced. Still using the light shade. I did the dark shade here and then in my temples. And then used to define the Cupid's bow, you want to go in the center And then you're gonna go on the side of each peak, I guess you would call it. And this is gonna create the illusion of depth, so it's gonna make it look like it's basically making it look fuller than it actually is. You're giving it a little more depth. So then see, now it looks like I have a really nice Cupid's bow, even though I don't. And then yeah, doing underneath will make the lip look fuller without having to do lip injections and all that. Not that there's anything wrong with doing lip injections, but where did this come from? Oh, okay, I'm gonna try and put some stuff back. Okay, so I am gonna do a little bit of highlighter. I'm not gonna, normally I would do bronzer, but we're not gonna do bronzer. Highlighter, I'm just gonna use Becca's Vanilla Quartz. Again, trying to keep it light. And she's very, it looks like this. This is probably one of my least used Becca highlighters. I have a bunch of these mini ones from their holiday set 2 years ago, and it's probably one that I have probably used the least. I'm just gonna go around, keeping that closer to the brow. Yeah, I couldn't really tell like if there was any highlighting, but again, if you're really looking at the doll, like she's plastic. So if you really wanted to make yourself look like the doll, you could probably highlight more because again, her skin's not real. So I'm just gonna do at this point, what I think looks pretty, but I think that's probably good. I didn't want to do a dark highlighter again because she's pale. And then I do blush at the end anyway. I like to do highlighter and then blush. I think it blends in better. My daughter got into my makeup, so there's some of these brushes I can tell she was trying to use for eyeshadow. And then for blush, and I'm just going to keep it like right here. And this is Too Faced in Love Flush. Again, looking at the doll, it's very pinky and just kind of at the front. Normally I would take my own blush higher, but I shouldn't really have that. I'm gonna do a little bit on the nose here and a little on the temples, just so we can get a little bit of color. But you don't have to do the blush. I tried to look at what other people had done, and some people did blush, some people didn't, so that's really gonna again be personal preference. Again, you can go super pale. I'm already pretty pale, so I figured a little bit of concealer. All I did, yeah, was pretty much some concealer and then just did some powder, and that's all I have on my face. I don't have a ton of product on. Okay, so that's really it for the face. My poor hair. I know my hair looks crazy. It'll look better, I promise. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the MAC paint pot. Yeah, neither Tiffany nor Morticia Addams are very hard looks. Like when you break down the makeup, there's not a lot to it. I do have a black wig, so I, could go either way, but I really, really love the character, and I love Jennifer Tilly, so. And my hair's the right color. I don't know if I said that already, but that was kind of what motivated me to choose Tiffany. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I think I'm going to try and use, this is the Wicked Sisters Handbook for the Dearly Departed. It's supposed to be their Beetlejuice palette, but it's very grungy. Tiffany's eye makeup is very plummy, purpley, so I'm just going to mainly use these two shades. And then there is a black. It's a sequency black, so it's a black with glitter in it. A matte with glitter. So it's not like a true matte. Which one of these is the small tapered? Let me just pull out a couple of the brushes that I normally use. I probably should have got these out before, but here we are. My daughter went to bed early, so I decided to film this now instead of filming it a few days from now. So I don't know if this is going to be my last Halloween look for the month. It might be, but I'm going to go in with Lydia, which is the like the eggplant shade. I'm not going to hold up the palette just because you can use any purples. Again, looking at like the pictures from the movie, it was kind of hard to tell, and then looking at pictures that other people had done, some people really stuck to the purples, and then I saw some people that just did like black smoky eye. So I think you could get away with doing either and be okay. So whatever purples or blacks or grays you have, definitely don't feel like you need to be compelled to go and buy. This is a good palette. I wish there wasn't pressed glitters in it. I'm not a fan of at least the pressed glitters that they have in this palette. I probably need to try one or two more of their palettes before I say that I don't like their pressed glitter formula, but I just am not crazy about the pressed glitters that are in here. I wear contacts, so I'm not a big pressed glitter wearer anymore. I used to be like 3 or 4 years ago. I know when Mike and I were first dating, my husband, I wore pressed glitter more, but that's not really pertinent. And then I'm going to go in with Deo, which is like the darker plummy. And then I did pull out my purple ColourPop palette and my Smoke Show palette. I'm gonna try and use the black that's in here, and then if I don't like it, I'll pull from those palettes, because I think that black and gray palette is probably one of my favorite, just because the blacks in there are super pigmented, like super pigmented, and the sequency black in that one is more pigmented than just the matte black. I know that for a fact because I used it when I did my Sugar Skull makeup tutorial that's already up. But it's impressive. I think that's probably my favorite. I have several of their monochromatic 9 pans, and I think that one, I don't think there's a bad shade in that palette. I think that performs the best. They did which blacks can be tricky. So I'm just doing this in the outer corner, and then she's very, her character is very, slightly gothic, alternative style. So I want this to be very grungy and blown out, but not necessarily all black. I like the tones of this a lot. So if you got some grungy purples, I just like the look of it. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on my lid. I don't know yet. It'll be a surprise for both of us. I kind of had an idea. I knew there was purples in this palette, so I was like, oh, I'll do that, I think, because I tried to look at some pictures that other people had done, brought up pictures of stills of her from the film. I think I'm going to try and do a little bit of Bioexorcist, which is the black, and I'm just going to concentrate it out here. Oh, that's not a bad. That glitter's going to probably blend away. I will say the sequence shade in ColourPop's black does not, but most sequence blacks, most sequence shades from palettes, the glitter doesn't stay once you start blending, so I consider them to be matte. But just know there is glitter, and I'm going back in with that darker purple just to help, just because I want there to be some depth, but I don't necessarily want it to look like it's black on the outside. So I just put some of that darker purple on top, and I'm just blending it out. I'm just using a Sigma brush. This is the Sigma E25. This is my favorite Sigma brush. I have 2 of them. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Under the brow, I'm gonna take, let's see, it's called Afterlife. It's just a shimmery white. think this is a very Lydia Dietz palette. I wish there was a lime green. There's not a lime green in it for being a Beetlejuice palette, but this does like scream Lydia to me and her dark little personality. On the lid, let me look at the ColourPop palette. I think I want to stay gray, possibly. Don't think I want to do purple. There's a gray. It's called Dark Room in the Beetlejuice palette. Maybe we'll try and put that on the lid and see how that goes. So I'm going to take the same flat brush I used. I'm going to put some of Afterlife on the inner corner before we get going here. And then we'll take that. Maybe I'll use a different flat brush. I have one. Okay, so let's take some of that gray and I'll see how that looks, because I can always put something else. I was going to put some glitter, like glitter glue, my NYX glitter primer down, but this is a darker shade, so I don't know that it's necessary at this point. Okay. And again, it was really hard to kind of tell what was happening on the lid with this makeup. So again, feel free to change this up as you so desire. I spent probably 2 days looking at different pictures, trying to figure out and just the shades, and it was hard to see some of what was happening even on like other people's makeup. So the lid, I'll leave it up to you. Don't feel like you have to copy and put a gray up there, because you don't. And then I just did a little bit of the eggplant to kind of help blend that out, and that's it. Lower lash line, I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to go in with the Lydia shade. I have a little bit of green in my waterline still from earlier. I was able to get the Hocus Pocus palette. I tried it today, so my eyes still have some green from one of my liners. So I'm just putting that lighter purple, and then I'm going to put the darker purple on the outer part here. Okay. And then I'm going to get a flat brush. This is just like a little flat angle brush. That one will work. I'm going to put black. No, I'm not going to put black. I'm going to put white on the waterline, only because that's going to make my eyes look bigger. Jennifer Tilly has pretty like large eyes. And then again, if you're trying to make yourself look like the doll's got super big eyes. And then I'm going to take the black shadow. I know this black one from the ColourPop is super pigmented, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of the sequin shade Night Dream on that flat brush, and I'm going to put that, and then I'll blend it out on the lash line. Not going to take it quite all the way over, but to the inner corner, but like 2/3 under where we put the white. And again, you could put black in the waterline. My eyes are really small, so I was trying to open them up just a little bit. And then we'll take, where's the brush? The brush that I used for the shadow. I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna, no additional product, just what was already on there, just to kind of buff that black out, because I don't want it to necessarily look like a black line, but I want it to be pretty dark like that. Okay. So then we're gonna just do, I'll go in and do liquid liner, probably off camera, but we'll do the Beauty Mark. This is just a Sephora waterproof black pencil. This was the one that was sharpened. I have several black pencils that need sharpened. we're gonna do the beauty mark. And then her lips are very pointy and then out. And then, I don't know, her bottom lip's not like terribly full, but I'm just gonna follow my, I'm gonna make the top parts of my lips as pointed as I can and then just follow my natural lip shape. So there's the top. And there's the bottom. Now you can make them look bigger, smaller. Like the doll's lips were pretty wide and thinner. I don't know that it's necessary to make my lips look smaller, but they are very pointed. So I felt like as long as you kind of have the points, I think you've kind of got the embodiment of the character. And the look that's happening. And then for the black, this is not a matte. I would go with a matte if you have one. I don't own a matte black lipstick. This is in Shady Witch from Wet n Wild. I've heard Milani's black is very good. If I can find that at some point, I would like to pick that up. And then Maybelline, their matte inks, they came out with a black this year, so that's probably good because I like that formula too. And then if you didn't have a black lipstick, you could totally just fill your lips in with eyeliner and call it a day. I think this is one of their lip colors from last year's Halloween collection. I got it on Poshmark. It is brand new. I got this one and the green one from last year, and then one of their orange metallics. Just because my the one black that I have is from Sugar Pill, and it's their one from like 2 years ago, and the formula's not. I feel like the points are a little bit uneven, but I think that's just my lips because you saw me outline them. If that's worth trying to fix it or not. Okay, I think that's fine. If I start doing more, I'm gonna end up screwing it up. Okay, so I'm going to draw a heart in lip liner. I don't know if I'm gonna write Chucky on or not. I might try. We'll see how that goes. And then I'm gonna do eyeliner and lashes off camera. I'll fix my hair and we'll come back and I'll show you the final look. Okay, we are back. I think it is frightening how much I look like the doll, especially if you watch Bride of Chucky when she first does the like the transformation on the doll, like herself as the doll, and make her look more like her. But yeah, so this is my hair. So you see, like, we did get some good volume pinning up those curls. I don't know, what is that? Okay, that hair is just being, I don't know, we'll just poke it up. Anyways, so we've got lashes and liner. I did do a little easy Chucky tattoo. That's just lip, eyeliner, and some eyeshadow. They do sell the tattoo kits if you don't want to try and wing it like I did. Yeah, it just sticks right on. But I like this, so thank you so much for the suggestion. If I have time, I might try and do Morticia. Like I said, I don't know if this is gonna be my last Halloween look for this year, but I will definitely be doing some more. I have my list already. I'm gonna be getting some better body paint for next year, so I'm super, super excited. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of my Tiffany transformation. I think it's a little frightening how much I look like the doll, but thank you guys so much. Hopefully this was not too boring. Make sure you are subscribed before you leave, and hopefully I will see you all in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.